Nina's plan seemed foolproof at first. She would spend her days with Tunde, basking in the warmth of his love, and her nights with Junior, indulging in opulent dinners and extravagant parties. And whenever one husband grew suspicious of her whereabouts, she would fabricate a story about a work trip or a visit to a distant relative. Once upon a time, in the vibrant city of Douala, there lived a young woman named Nina. With her captivating smile and graceful demeanor, Nina caught the eyes of many suitors. But there was one man who held a special place in her heart: Tunde. Tunde was kind, caring, and deeply in love with Nina. But he was a humble man with modest means. Nina, however, had a taste for the finer things in life. She loved the thrill of receiving lavish gifts and being showered with attention. And so, while she cherished Tunde, she couldn't resist the allure of a more extravagant lifestyle. Junior, a wealthy businessman who was instantly smitten by Nina's beauty, spared no expense in spoiling Nina with luxurious gifts and extravagant outings. Nina found herself drawn to Junior's lavish lifestyle, and soon she began to entertain the idea of marrying him. But Nina couldn't bear to break Tunde's heart. Instead, she concocted a devious plan. She would secretly marry Junior while maintaining her relationship with Tunde. She convinced herself that she could have the best of both worlds: the love of her life and the luxurious lifestyle she craved. Nina's plan seemed foolproof at first. She would spend her days with Tunde, basking in the warmth of his love, and her nights with Junior, indulging in opulent dinners and extravagant parties. And whenever one husband grew suspicious of her whereabouts, she would fabricate a story about a work trip or a visit to a distant relative. For a while, Nina managed to juggle her double life without arousing any suspicion. But as time passed, cracks began to appear in her carefully constructed facade. Tunde started to notice inconsistencies in Nina's stories, and Junior grew increasingly possessive, demanding more of her time and attention. Despite her best efforts to keep her two worlds separate, Nina's web of lies began to unravel. One fateful day, Tunde decided to surprise Nina at her supposed work trip destination, only to find her in the arms of Junior. Shocked and heartbroken, Tunde confronted Nina, demanding an explanation for her betrayal. Caught red-handed, Nina had no choice but to come clean. She tearfully confessed to Tunde about her secret marriage to Junior, pleading for his forgiveness. But Tunde, devastated by Nina's betrayal, could not bring himself to forgive her deceit. Meanwhile, Junior, who had also discovered Nina's deception, was seething with rage. He felt humiliated and betrayed by the woman he had showered his love and affection. Unable to bear the thought of sharing Nina with another man, Junior demanded a divorce, leaving Nina with nothing but her shattered dreams. As the dust settled on Nina's double life, she found herself alone and destitute. Her greed and deceit had cost her the love of her life and the lavish lifestyle she had coveted. And as she grappled with the consequences of her actions, Nina realized that true happiness could never be found in deceit and deception. As Nina grappled with the aftermath of her shattered life, she found herself at rock bottom. Without Tunde's love or Junior's wealth, she was left with nothing but regret and despair. One day, while wandering the streets of Douala, Nina bumped into Adele, her childhood friend whom she had lost touch with over the years. Adele, with her warm smile and kind heart, welcomed Nina with open arms, offering her a place to stay and a shoulder to lean on. Grateful for Adele's kindness, Nina began to rebuild her life from the ground up. With Adele's support and encouragement, she found a job at a local market, selling fruits and vegetables to make ends meet. Though it was a far cry from the glamorous life she once led, Nina embraced her newfound humility with grace and determination. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Nina slowly began to heal from the wounds of her past. She found solace in the simple pleasures of life, the laughter of children playing in the streets, the warmth of the sun on her skin, and the camaraderie of friends gathered around a shared meal. But just as Nina started to find peace in her new life, a familiar face from her past resurfaced, threatening to upend everything she had worked so hard to rebuild. It was none other than Tunde, the man she had once loved with all her heart. Tunde, who had spent months wrestling with his feelings of betrayal and heartache, had finally found it in his heart to forgive Nina. He had come to realize that their love was worth fighting for, despite the pain and deception that had torn them apart. Filled with hope and longing, Tunde sought out Nina, determined to win back her love and start anew. But as he stood before her, his heart heavy with regret and longing, Nina found herself torn between the past she had left behind and the future that beckoned with promise. And so, as the sun set over the bustling city of Douala, Nina stood at crossroads, faced with a choice that would shape the course of her destiny. As she stood at the crossroad of her past and her uncertain future, she felt the weight of her decisions pressing down on her shoulders. Tunde's presence stirred up a whirlwind of emotions within her. Memory of their shared laughter, their whispered promises, and the pain of their bitter parting. But alongside the turmoil of her conflicted heart, Nina also felt a glimmer of hope flickering within her soul. Perhaps, she thought, this unexpected reunion with Tunde was a sign. A chance to right the wrongs of her past and to carve out a new beginning for herself. With a deep breath, Nina gathered her courage and met Tunde's gaze with determination. She knew that she couldn't undo the mistakes of her past, but she also believed in the power of forgiveness and redemption. Tunde, his eyes shining with love and forgiveness, took Nina's hand in his own, his heart overflowing with hope and longing. Together, they stood on the precipice of a new chapter in their lives, ready to confront whatever challenges lay in their path. As they embarked on their journey of reconciliation and healing, Nina and Tunde discovered that true love was not just about passion and desire, but about trust, forgiveness, and the willingness to overcome obstacles together. With each passing day, their bond grew stronger, fueled by the shared experience of their past and the promise of a brighter future. And as they walked hand in hand through the streets of Douala, they knew that no matter what trials they may face, they would always find strength in the love that had brought them back together. But even as Nina and Tunde found solace in each other's arms, a shadow loomed on the horizon, the lingering specter of Junior, the man Nina had once deceived and betrayed. Unknown to Nina and Tunde, Junior had been silently watching from the sidelines, his heart consumed by bitterness and resentment. And as he plotted his revenge against the woman who had wronged him, he vowed to make Nina pay for her deceit in the most devastating way possible. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the city streets, a storm was brewing on the horizon. And so, as the next chapter of Nina's journey unfolds, she must steel herself for the challenges that lay ahead. But with Tunde by her side, she knows that together, they can weather any storm that comes their way.